Hi, this is Kim, and these are 6 questions you can ask yourself to determine whether you need a coach or a therapist. The first question you can ask yourself is, what are my goals? So a lot of times when working with coaches, they'll offer a set number of sessions within a specific time frame. So usually that may look like a 3-month period, a 6 months period, maybe even a year period, and you're able to get up to a certain amount of sessions within that time frame. With a therapist, it typically is longer term, depending on what you're working on, the treatment goals, the therapists themselves, like if they feel like the relationship is a good fit, if any factors come up where they may have to leave, things like that. So typically with a therapist relationship, it's usually a bit longer term. So when you're thinking about your goals, kind of try to determine whether they can realistically be done within that time frame. And that kind of goes into question number 2. So question number 2, can my main issue be solved in X amount of time? So if you're a person that's wanting to kind of process through your past, process through things that may take more time to really get into, because therapist sessions and coaching sessions alike typically are about an hour, depending on what you're doing, if it's one-on-one, things like that. Typically it's about an hour. So will you be able to go into depth quickly with the things that you're wanting to work through? If so, if it's more of a like you're just needing the guidance and the encouragement to kind of stick to a plan and go with it, coaching is typically the best route for that. There also is a type of therapy which is called solution focused, which is kind of has a similar objective of just looking at the solution, getting to the solution, finding a plan to help alleviate whatever issues that is. So in that sense, that would be up to you to determine whether a therapist or a coach would be best. The third question is, am I wanting to process trauma? So that one's a pretty straightforward answer. If you're wanting to process trauma, you want to work with a licensed professional that has the education on how to work with clients with trauma. Typically with coaching programs, you're not always required to have certifications, and even if in that certification, it's typically not trauma focused. And therapy is typically the best route to go with that because of the required education, the required supervision, the required experience of working with clients with trauma. You want to work with somebody that is equipped to handle those things. So in situations where that's something that you're wanting to figure out and open up and talk about, definitely see a therapist for that. And usually if coaches sense that that's something that you're wanting to discuss and that you're needing to discuss, they will refer you out to therapists. The fourth question is, am I wanting tools to help with a specific diagnosis that I have? So that kind of goes back into the last question. As far as diagnosing people with different mental health concerns, that's therapy related and mental health related, not so much on the coaching aspect. So are you wanting tools and resources to deal with anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, substance abuse, things like that? Are you wanting tools to kind of help you cope with those things and also learn about what it looks like for you? That's when you would want to go the therapist route rather than the coaching route. So the fifth question is kind of tied together. do I believe I have a specific diagnosis, and could there potentially be a barrier to the progress that I'm trying to make towards my goals? That kind of goes hand in hand. So if you do feel like there could be potential barriers such as mental health, addressing childhood events, addressing trauma, that would be the time to kind of go the therapy route instead of coaching. Now, if those aren't things that you believe will come up and you're wanting to find motivation and kind of get on track with your goals, the coaching route would probably be best for that. And the final question is, am I wanting quicker results and to be held accountable? Again, this kind of goes back to the coaching route. So having someone there to hold you accountable, pushing you to results, also having those limited amount of sessions within a limited time frame kind of gets you to those goals quicker because you're more focused on that. Are you focusing on the actions? Are you self-motivated? That's kind of what you want to look at to determine if you're deciding between a coach and a therapist. If those are the things that are true to you and you don't have any barriers, or you don't foresee any barriers, coaching would probably be a better route. Now, that's not to say that therapists aren't going to hold you accountable and that you won't get quick results from therapy. A lot of times people do get quick results from therapy, and some people just need a couple sessions and they're better. And then again, back to that solution focused approach, when you're focusing on the solution rather than specifically the problem, you tend to get the help that you're needing in that aspect of finding a solution. So it's not to say that therapy can't yield quick results and that they won't hold you accountable. Coaches, a lot of times they're more open with their communication with mental health and therapy. It's a very not like a strict policy to not talk to clients, but like really emphasizing prioritizing our personal time and making sure that when we're at work, we have that full focus on our clients, and then when we're not at work, kind of leaving everything at work, because there can be so much that is put on us throughout the day, and keeping like a work-life balance. Not to say that coaches don't have a work-life balance either, but typically you'll see like more openness in the coaching aspect because they'll do check-ins throughout the week. If you're not meeting on a weekly basis, they may do a couple check-ins, phone calls, just to make sure you're still progressing with the goals that you both have set. Well, I hope these questions were helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.